Hey, I'm Sandra. Let me take you back to where it all began. Life was always just me and my mom, Trina, a dynamic duo since as far back as I can remember. My dad left us when I was very young, so my memories of him are hazy and few. Growing up, it was always just the two of us against the world. We weren't rich, but my mom worked tirelessly to ensure we had a roof over our heads and food on the table. Our small apartment in a quiet neighborhood was home, and I loved it. I never knew what it was like to have a fatherly presence around. My mom was my hero. After high school, I decided to stay close to home and attend the local community college. I couldn't bear the thought of leaving my mom alone after everything she had done for me. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, but I figured I'd sort that out along the way. Life wasn't glamorous, but it was comfortable and it was ours. Things were going well, and I eventually got a job as the manager of a local bookstore. It wasn't the most thrilling job, but it paid the bills, and I had a passion for books, so it felt like a good fit. My mom was over the moon when I started bringing home a paycheck. It was like a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. Then came Peter. I met him when I was 23 in one of those chance encounters you never expect to turn into something big. He walked into the bookstore one day while I was busy arranging a shelf. He asked for a book recommendation, and we got talking. Things just happened naturally from there. Peter and I hit it off incredibly well, and we felt a connection that was almost electric. Everything seemed to fall into place. Eventually, Peter decided it was time for me to meet his mother, Donna. I had heard so much about her from Peter, and I was a little nervous. He arranged for us to have dinner at her house, so I decided to bring a homemade pie, hoping to make a good impression. Oh, Sandra, so lovely to finally meet you. You brought pie? How charming. Thanks, Donna. I thought you might enjoy it. Mom, Ella's a fantastic baker. You'll love it. Well, let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. So, Sandra, speaking of family, how was your family life? I heard it's just you and your mother, Trina, and no father in the picture. Isn't that sad? Well, my mom and I are very close. We've always been there for each other. So, Ella, your mom isn't remarried. No, she isn't. Well, maybe she's the problematic one. You shouldn't blame your dad for leaving. Sometimes kids fail to see things the way they are. Mom, I've met Ella. She's a wonderful woman. Son, I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, single women often raise the most problematic daughters. I call it like I see it. They raise their daughters to be bossy. And Peter, weren't you into blondes? Sandra here is a brunette, not very attractive in my eyes. Your ex-girlfriend was studying at an Ivy League school or something, and Sandra runs a bookstore. This seems like quite a downgrade. Mom, I didn't choose Sandra based on her job or education. I chose her because of the person she is. Your dad and I worked hard to ensure you could go to a good college, and now this is the kind of woman you bring home. No offense, Sandra. But there might be someone out there for you too, but it's just not my son. After that awkward dinner with Donna, Peter apologized to me repeatedly for her behavior. He felt genuinely sorry that his mother was so critical, but I assured him that our love was strong and wouldn't be easily shaken by someone's words. I knew my mother-in-law could be tough to deal with, but I was determined not to let it get in the way of our relationship. In any relationship, it's crucial to take a stand when needed, but I also believe in being respectful. Peter and I were deeply in love, and we were confident in our decision to be together. We didn't need anyone's approval but our own to know that we were right for each other. Over time, Peter and I grew even closer, and our love blossomed. He started talking about our future together, and not long after, he asked me to marry him. When it came time to plan our wedding, Peter and I discussed the guest list and decided to invite Donna and a couple of Peter's close friends. Unfortunately, Peter had lost his dad, and he didn't have many guests from his dad's side, so the guest list was small. A few months before the wedding, we shared our engagement news with Donna, and I could sense she wasn't too thrilled about it, but that didn't deter us from inviting her. We decided to visit her at her house to personally extend the invitation. Hi, Donna. We wanted to talk to you about our wedding. Oh, the wedding, huh? Mom, we'd really love for you to be there. Yes, it's such an important day for us, and we want you to be a part of it. Well, isn't that sweet? But honestly, I've got other things to do. Sandra, sweetie, you don't really know what you're getting into with my son. Mom, please. Ella's amazing, and I love her. I want you to see that. You are my mom. You seriously wouldn't miss my wedding, would you? Donna, we may have our differences, but this day is about love. We would love to have you there. I'm just not sure it's a good idea, you know. Donna not showing up at our wedding was a real bummer. Let me tell you, we made every effort to get Donna to our wedding. We called her countless times, but she couldn't be bothered. Peter's friends and family were there, but we could see the disappointment in his eyes. He tried to keep his spirits up, but his mom's absence was clearly weighing on him. It's tough when your spouse is feeling low and there's not much you can do to lift their spirits. Despite everything, Peter insisted we go ahead with the ceremony. He wouldn't let a no-show ruin our day, even if it was his mother. Fast forward 6 months into our marriage, and Donna was still keeping her distance. It was like she had made a conscious choice to pretend we didn't exist. It was tough for Peter, and I could see it in his behavior, but he never blamed me. Peter's birthday rolled around, and we tried to throw a small family gathering to mark the occasion. We reached out to Donna, but she turned us down without any explanation. Peter was obviously hurt by his mom skipping his birthday. I remember those weekends when I used to visit my mom regularly. It had always been just the two of us, and I felt a deep sense of responsibility toward her. I could sense Peter's desire to see his own mom, but he couldn't. In a strange way, I felt like the blame was on me, like I was the reason he couldn't have that bond with his mother. The bond between a mother and her children is something truly special, and it pained me to think that I might have unintentionally taken that away from Peter and Donna. Peter, honey, I can't help but feel responsible for the distance between you and your mom. It's like she's avoiding you because of me. Sandra, you can't blame yourself for my mom's actions. It's her choice to be distant. She has her own reasons, but it seems that she can't accept our relationship. It's affecting you, and I hate seeing you like this. I know it's tough, but it's not your fault. I love you, and I wouldn't want it any other way. We'll figure this out together. I just want you to have the relationship you deserve with your mom. I decided it was time to take matters into my own hands. I couldn't bear to see Peter suffer because of his strained relationship with his mom. So one day, without telling Peter, I headed over to Donna's place. I was determined to have a woman-to-woman conversation with her, hoping to ask her to give me a chance. Donna, it's been over 6 months. Don't you miss your son? He's been missing you. Your son was really hurt when you didn't show up at our wedding or his birthday. I understand you might not approve of me, but can you give me a chance for Peter's sake? I'm really close to my mom, and I can't even imagine not talking to her for that long. Peter respects you a lot, so maybe you can give me a chance at this. Sandra, it's not that simple. You're not the woman I imagined for my son. I'm confident we can work something out, Donna. Just give me a chance. Get to know me, and who knows? Maybe we'll discover some common ground. We might even find something we both like. Oh please, Ella, you're nothing like me. I don't think we can ever get along, but I will give it a thought just because I miss my son way too much. I got back from Donna's place not really knowing what to expect. I decided not to tell Peter about our chat just yet. It felt like if it happened, it should be a surprise, and maybe a pleasant one. The next Sunday, Donna reached out to Peter. She called and surprisingly told him she was willing to give things a second chance. Donna even invited us over for dinner at her new place. It was a step in the right direction, and I couldn't help but feel hopeful. Things might just be looking up for Peter and his mom. We went to her place in the evening. I helped Donna a bit with the food while Peter enjoyed a beer. Son, I want to apologize for missing your wedding and your birthday. It was the first time I missed your birthday, and I know the wedding was a big deal. Mom, it hurt me that you weren't there for the wedding. It was such an important day for me, and I really wanted you to be there. I'm genuinely sorry for that. You know I've had my reservations about Sandra, but I'm willing to give this a second chance. Thanks, Mom. I hope we can have a better future. By the way, how's your mom, Sandra? I visit her regularly. Well, she must be all alone now, right? Donna commented. Come on, Mom, let's not get into this again. Peter sighed. I'm just saying, she sounds like a crazy cat lady who can't keep a husband or a relationship. That's completely not true. She just chooses not to. Peter retorted. Sandra and I drive down to see Trina almost every weekend. She treats me like her own son. It seems like you two visit her more often than you reach out to me, Donna accused. Mom, I tried to call you so many times, especially around the wedding, and you never picked up. It made me feel really disappointed. But I am your mom. I know you're my mom, and no one can replace that. Trina is my mother-in-law, and she's making an effort. I told her once that I like Mexican food, and the next time we went over, she cooked a special Mexican meal for me even though she had no experience with it. She's a kind woman, a great mother-in-law, and I'm grateful for that. Well, it looks like my son has different priorities now, Donna said, a hint of bitterness in her voice. How about dinner at my place every Sunday? I think we should start new traditions. That sounds great, Donna, Sandra replied warmly. Mom, you have no idea how happy I am to see you make an effort like this, Peter added, smiling. Nearly a year had passed since Peter and I got married, and I have to say, things were going great. Peter made me breakfast every day before he left for work, leaving it on the kitchen counter with a little note that never failed to brighten my day. He also surprised me with a bouquet of fresh flowers every Friday evening, a tradition that always brought a smile to my face. Despite the rocky start with Donna, she gradually started warming up to me. She wasn't exactly my biggest fan, and she had some strong opinions about my mother, believing that she was problematic and had raised me to be a problematic daughter. But deep down, Donna wanted to rekindle her relationship with her son, which gave me hope. Our Sundays were reserved for visiting Donna. It had become a regular thing, almost a tradition. Donna would invite us over for dinner, and it was a step in the right direction. I couldn't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, we could all grow closer as a family. It was just a regular Sunday, and we were all geared up to head over to Donna's place. But that day took a sharp turn when my phone rang with alarming news. It was the hospital, and the news was not good. My mom had suffered a stroke and was being rushed to the hospital. I told Peter, and he immediately sent a text to Donna explaining the situation and apologizing for our absence. There was no way we could make it to her place. I couldn't bear the thought of not being there for my mom when she needed us the most. So off we went to the hospital, and those hours of waiting and worrying felt like an eternity. Fortunately, it turned out to be a mini stroke. Still, it was scary, and it could have been much worse. My mom's a tough cookie, and she was on the mend. For the next few days, I stuck by my mom's side, taking some time off from the bookstore to look after her. Peter would drive down every couple of days to check on us, his concern for Trina evident, which meant the world to me. My mom's health gradually improved, and that was a relief like no other. One evening, when we returned home, I found myself feeling drained both emotionally and physically. I hadn't even had a moment to process everything that had happened, and then the doorbell rang. It was Donna. Well, I haven't seen you guys in a while, she said. Mom, like I told you, Trina had a mini stroke, Peter explained. I've been trying to mend things with you. I even let Sandra into my house, even though I had my issues with her. But it's been almost 2 weeks. You couldn't even manage to show up at my house once. Donna, it was a serious situation. My mom was at the hospital. She had a mini stroke. I was so scared I could have lost her. I needed my husband there, and it's not like we stopped coming over to your place or something. We just needed some time, I said, feeling frustrated. Maybe I've been overthinking things, but anyway, would it be fine with you, Sandra, if I use your car tomorrow? Donna asked. Yeah, of course. My car broke down, and I need to go somewhere very important to meet this friend of mine. Of course you can. I have some more leave from the bookstore, so I'll be staying at home anyway. Peter has his own car, and I don't think I'll be using mine, I replied, trying to keep the peace. You're a lifesaver, Donna said. Later that night, Peter brought up the topic of Donna's broken-down car. He told me it had reminded him of how long it had been since he had sent his own car for maintenance. Hey, how about you drop me at Mom's house in your car before going to work? We can also make a stop and give Donna my car keys. She can use it and drop it off whenever she wants, Peter suggested. That sounds like a good plan. I agreed, hoping this would help smooth things over with Donna. Then on your way back in the evening, you can pick me up from my mom's house again. Sure, sounds great. On the way back, we can even stop at the maintenance center to drop my car there and get an Uber from there to home. The next day, we followed our plan precisely. Peter dropped me off at my mom's house on his way to work, and before that, we stopped by Donna's place to give her the keys to my car. Hey Donna, here are the keys. You can use my car and drop it back at my place. I'm heading to my mom's house, and the car is in our driveway. I won't be needing it for much time, just some hours. I'll drop it off at your place before you get back home. I had a great time visiting my mom. I cooked for her like in the old times, and we watched our favorite reality show. When Peter picked me up on his way back from work, we went to the maintenance center. Peter left his car there, and we took an Uber home. When we got there, my car was standing in the driveway, and we figured that Donna must have dropped it off after she used it. The next day, he took my car to his office, and something very terrible happened. I received that dreaded call from the hospital. At first, my heart skipped a beat, and I thought it might be about my mom, but then the voice on the other end mentioned Peter's name, and I felt like my world was crashing down. The hospital explained that Peter had been in a car accident, and I could feel the panic rising within me. I rushed to the hospital as fast as I could. When I arrived, I was relieved to see that the accident, while frightening, had not been as catastrophic as it could have been. Peter's head was safe, and he had no major injuries, just a few broken bones. I called Donna to let her know about her son's accident. I was in the hospital room, sitting beside Peter's bed. He was still unconscious, and I was anxiously waiting for him to wake up. I held his hand, hoping for any sign of improvement. That's when Donna walked into the room. "What the hell, Sandra? Look what you did to my son. All of this is your fault." "How could this be my fault? You were supposed to get into that car and drive it, not Peter. Why did you let him drive your car? Are you serious? What are you trying to say? Just because of you, my son got into an accident. Oh my God, I can't bear the sight of him like this. He's so hurt. My poor son is in so much pain." "Wait, Donna, what did you say? What do you mean I was supposed to get into the car?" "Yes, you and your mother, taking Peter away from me. We were finally getting close again. And then your stupid mom had that stroke, and my son stood me up to go and see that woman. I never liked you, Sandra. You are a terrible girl. Peter deserves better. I tried to tolerate you for his sake, but your mom? She's trying to steal my son too. It's not just you. Did you think I was blind to your attempts to take him away from me? She's alone. She can't have a family and keep a man, so she's trying to steal mine. You started this, Sandra. I thought it would end with you, so I may or may not have arranged for someone to mess with your car, but now look what you've done, dragging my son into this mess." "Mom, what's going on? Are you serious?" "Oh, Peter, babe, are you fine? Can you get my mom out of here? I don't want to see her face." "Peter, thank God you're all right. This is all Ella's fault. You're just a bit misguided right now. I did all of this to protect you from Sandra and Trina. Mom, you are just delusional. Just get out of here." I escorted Donna out of the room. Enough is enough. You tried to end my life, and look what happened. You hurt your own son. I won't let that go. Donna, you have insulted me and my mom repeatedly, but I gave you numerous chances, hoping one day you would accept me. In return, you tried to kill me. You wanted me gone, but I will ensure you face the consequences. I spent weeks at the hospital with Peter, waiting for him to heal and come home. He'd been through a terrifying car accident, and his injuries were slowly getting better. But during those long hours by his side, I couldn't forget what Donna had done. While we were still in the hospital, I called the lawyer. I knew I had to take action to make sure Donna faced the consequences of her actions. Dealing with legal stuff and police reports was a hassle, but it was necessary. Donna had to pay for attempting to hurt me. After a bunch of court proceedings, Donna got sentenced to 2 years in jail for attempted murder. The gravity of her actions finally caught up with her. It's been months since the accident, and Peter is still in pain. Some of his wounds haven't fully healed, and the emotional scars run deep. He's understandably furious with his mom for what she did. During this tough time, I've been there for him every step of the way. My mom, Trina, has also been a huge help. We're doing our best to make things as smooth as possible for him, considering the circumstances. Donna might be locked away for a while, but we don't think we can ever forgive her for what she has done. Stay safe, people.